Okay, so you want the inside scoop on what it really takes to become a millionaire, huh?
Well, forget those flashy yachts and designer suits.
Yeah, we're ditching that whole Hollywood fantasy.
We're diving deep into the
Into the
reality
book, The Millionaire Next Door.
to uncover the surprising truths behind real wealth.
This book, it really throws those stereotypical images of millionaires right out the window.
It does, doesn't it?
It focuses on the everyday millionaire.
That's right, the kind of person you might walk right past on the street and never even realize they're wealthy.
Yeah, like hiding in plain sight.
Exactly.
The book actually calls them paws.
Pause, prodigious accumulators of wealth.
Prodigious accumulators of wealth. And guess what?
Right.
They're not dropping thousands of dollars on designer clothes.
Nope. The book busts those myths wide open.
I mean, come on, give me some details.
All right, so the average paw, they spend less than $400 on a suit.
$400.
Less than $400.
Wow. Okay, what about shoes?
Shoes. Forget those $64,000 alligator shoes you see celebrities wearing.
Oh, yeah, right.
Less than 1% of millionaires would even consider that.
Really?
It's just not their style.
So it's really not about showing off then.
It's not.
It's about making smart financial decisions.
Exactly.
So more about strategy.
Strategy, yes.
The book compares building wealth to playing a good game of defense.
That's a great analogy.
So you're saying it's about building a solid financial defense,
Exactly.
protecting your assets.
That's right. The authors, they really dive into how these millionaires, they budget meticulously, they plan for the long term.
So thinking ahead.
Yes, very much so. And they see saving as a vital part of their success.
It's like their secret weapon.
You could say that.
I love that they introduce us to Mrs. Rule,
Oh, yes, Mrs. Rule.
a millionaire's wife who meticulously tracks every single expense,
She does.
every penny.
Every single one.
Wow, what can we learn from Mrs. Rule's system?
It's about being intentional with your money
Okay, being intentional.
and discipline with your finances.
Yeah.
Mrs. Rule's tracking helps her identify areas where she can save.
Oh, so she can see exactly where her money's going.
Exactly. And it ensures that her spending aligns with her financial goals.
It's like having a financial roadmap.
Precisely.
That makes me think, do I have a Mrs. Rule in my life?
That's a good question for all of us to consider.
Someone who keeps me on track and accountable.
Someone to help you stay focused on your goals.
This book, it really makes you examine your own financial habits.
It does. It holds up a mirror in a way.
For sure. And it highlights the stark contrast with those who struggle to accumulate wealth.
Right. The under-accumulators of wealth.
The UAWs.
Exactly.
The book introduces this high earner named Mr. Friend,
Oh, yes, Mr. Friend.
who struggles to accumulate wealth despite his substantial income.
It's a classic case of lifestyle inflation.
Why is that? Why is he struggling so much?
He's caught in the trap of trying to appear wealthy.
Oh, so keeping up with the Joneses.
Exactly. He's more focused on the outward show of success rather than building true wealth.
So he's spending to impress others instead of investing for his future.
Got
That's tough.
It is. He gets trapped in this cycle of earn and consume.
Earn and consume.
He's afraid of not being seen as successful.
So he uses credit to fuel his spending.
Right. Which ultimately leaves him with less wealth than he should have.
That's a powerful example of how our mindset can really sabotage our financial success.
It really is. Our emotions can drive us to make decisions that aren't in our best interests.
And that brings us to another crucial concept from the book.
Oh, yes.
Economic outpatient care, or EOC.
It's a bit of a mouthful, isn't it?
Yeah, break that down for me. What exactly is EOC?
EOC. It refers to the financial support that adult children receive from their parents.
Okay, so we're talking about those ongoing financial gifts.
Right. It's not just about inheriting millions.
Right, okay.
It's about those regular cash gifts, even small ones that can subtly affect someone's journey to financial independence.
So even small gifts can have a big impact over time.
They can absolutely. They can create a sense of dependency.
Interesting. Okay, so how does this play out in real life?
Well, the book gives us a great example with Mary and Lamar.
Mary Lamar.
Yes, Mary's family, they consistently bail them out financially.
So they never have to face the consequences of their own financial decisions
Right, which ultimately prevents them from achieving true financial stability.
because they're always relying on that safety net.
Exactly. They never really learn to fly on their own.
They never develop those crucial money management skills.
It's a vicious cycle.
And then there's the montage effect,
Ah, yes, the montage effect.
where children of affluent parents, they view their parents' wealth as their own income.
Like it's an extension of their own paycheck.
Exactly.
It can lead to a really distorted view of their financial situation.
And of course, contribute to overspending.
Absolutely. It's like they're living in a financial fantasy land.
This is all making me seriously consider the impact of financial support.
It's a two-way street, isn't it?
Yeah, on both the giver and the receiver.
It's a delicate balance.
For sure, The Millionaire Next Door, it really pushes us to think critically about the long-term effects of financial help.
It does, even when it comes from a good place.
So we need to be mindful of the potential consequences.
Absolutely.
Okay, so what are some ways to avoid falling into these EOC traps?
Well, the book emphasizes open communication within families.
So, talking about money.
Yes, being open and honest about finances and setting clear expectations about financial support.
No more tiptoeing around the subject.
Right. It's about fostering a sense of financial responsibility and independence from a young age.
It's like teaching your kids to fish instead of just giving them fish.
That's a great analogy.
Empowering them with the skills and knowledge to manage their own finances.
Absolutely.
Okay, now let's move on to another Q factor that The Millionaire Next Door explores the role of occupation in wealth building.
This is a big one.
It is. While the authors emphasize that millionaires come from all sorts of backgrounds,
Right, there's no one-size-fits-all formula.
they do delve into the types of work that are most prevalent among the self-made wealthy.
They do.
So give us the scoop. What are these millionaire professions?
Well, a significant number of millionaires are self-employed business owners.
So entrepreneurship plays a key role.
It does. The book suggests that entrepreneurship, while risky, can offer a greater opportunity for wealth accumulation compared to some traditional career paths.
But it's not just about starting any business, right?
No, it's
There
not.
has to be some strategy involved.
Absolutely. The book uses this insightful comparison of a coal mining operation and a medical practice.
Interesting. Okay, I'm all ears.
Mm.
How do those two compare?
Well, a coal mining business might have the potential for higher profits,
Oh.
but it's a volatile industry.
I see. So much more unpredictable.
Right, with a lot of external factors at play.
A lot of things outside of your control.
Exactly. So there's a higher level of risk involved.
Okay, makes sense. Okay. What about the medical practice?
A medical practice, it requires significant investment in education and training.
Years of schooling.
Right, but it offers greater stability and flexibility.
A bit more predictable.
Exactly. It's about understanding the trade-offs between risk and reward when choosing a career path.
Yeah, you got to weigh those options carefully.
You do.
And the book links this to why affluent parents often encourage their children to pursue professional careers.
It's about long-term security,
It makes sense. They're looking at those transferable skills.
right? Skills that can be applied in a variety of settings.
It's fascinating how that parental guidance plays into the bigger picture of wealth-building strategies.
It really does. Those early influences can have a lasting impact.
It makes me think, are we in fields that align with our wealth-building goals?
That's a good question for all of us to ask ourselves.
It is. That's a question worth pondering for sure.
It is.
Okay, so now let's move on to one of the most intriguing aspects of the book, the affluent mindset.
The mindset.
The Millionaire Next Door introduces us to Mr. Allen, a character who embodies this mindset.
Mr. Allen, he's a fascinating case study.
Right, tell me more about Mr. Allen. What makes him tick?
Well, Mr. Allen is incredibly successful, yet he lives very modestly.
So he's not flashy?
Not at all. He prioritizes financial independence over outward displays of wealth.
He's not trying to impress anyone.
No, he's content with his own success. He sees money as a measure of his achievement.
Like a scorecard.
Exactly, a report card. Not a tool for buying fancy things just to impress others.
So he's intrinsically motivated.
He is. He's driven by his own internal compass.
He values frugality,
He does. He sees it as a path to achieving his goals.
not as deprivation.
Right. He understands that saving and investing are key to building long-term wealth.
His financial security and the freedom that comes with it, those are his true priorities.
They are. It's a stark contrast to someone like Mr. Friend who's caught up in that cycle of keeping up appearances.
Mr. Allen, he's got his eye on the prize.
That's a great way to put it. He's focused on what truly matters.
This whole concept of the affluent mindset, it really resonates with me.
It's powerful, isn't it?
It makes you think about your own motivations and what truly drives your financial decisions.
Are you spending to impress others or to achieve your own goals?
That's the question.
It is. Are you seeking validation from external sources or building a life that aligns with your own values?
Those are some deep questions.
They are, but they're crucial questions to ask ourselves.
If we want to unlock the secrets of the millionaire next door
Exactly.
and start building our own path to financial independence,
That's the ultimate goal, isn't it?
it is. So where do we go from here?
Well, now that we've explored the mindset and habits of these everyday millionaires, Let's delve into their strategies for raising financially independent children.
That's a great point.
Mm.
Because building wealth isn't just about ourselves.
It's about creating a legacy.
For future generations.
Exactly. Passing on those values and habits that lead to financial success.
I'm eager to hear what the Millionaire Next Door has to say about that.
Me too. Let's dive in. One of the most compelling parts of The Millionaire Next Door, is how it really digs into the long-term impact of financial decisions within families.
Absolutely. It's not just about you making a choice, right?
No, it's not. It's bigger than that.
It's about the ripple effect on future generations.
It really is. And they present this really interesting case study comparing two families, the Souths and the Norths.
Okay. All right. The Souths and the Norths.
Yeah, both families are headed by doctors with similar incomes.
Got it.
But their approaches to building wealth are completely different.
Okay. I'm intrigued. Tell me more about these two families.
All right, so Dr. South, despite his high income, he's caught in this cycle of overspending.
Oh, now.
He's focused on keeping up appearances, maintaining a certain lifestyle.
So he's trying to project a certain image.
Exactly, which leads to relying on credit and this constant feeling of financial strain.
Sounds like he's falling into that earn and consume trap we talked about earlier.
He's living beyond his means.
And what about his family?
This behavior, it extends to his wife and his adult children.
Oh, so they've adopted similar spending habits.
They have, yeah. So Dr. South ends up constantly having to provide them with financial support.
He's bailing them out.
He is, which further hinders his ability to actually accumulate wealth.
So it's like this cycle of dependence that's impacting the entire family.
Exactly. It's this downward spiral.
It's almost like they're enabling each other's bad habits.
In a way, yes. Now, contrast that with the North family.
Okay, the North family.
So Dr. North and his wife, they live well below their means.
Okay, so they're not trying to keep up with the Joneses.
Not at all. They're prioritizing saving, and they've instilled those values in their children from a young age.
So it's like they're embodying that paw mindset we talked about.
Exactly. Focusing on building wealth quietly and steadily.
What about their kids? How have they turned out?
Well, their children, they've grown up observing those behaviors.
So they've learned by example.
Exactly. They haven't developed a sense of entitlement or the expectation of constant financial handouts.
They're more self-sufficient.
Yes, much more. And financially responsible.
That's a powerful example of how parental influence can really shape financial habits.
It really is. It shows that what you do speaks volumes.
Actions speak louder than words.
Absolutely. Now, beyond parenting, the Millionaire Next Door also offers some great advice on choosing a career path that actually supports wealth building.
This is a topic that resonates with a lot of our listeners.
It is. It's something we all think about.
What specific insights does the book offer?
One of the key takeaways is that, a significant number of self-made millionaires are business owners.
So entrepreneurship plays a key role.
It does. But the book emphasizes that it's not just about starting any business.
Right. It's got to be the right business.
Exactly. It's about choosing the right business, understanding the market, and having the skills and drive to succeed.
So it's about strategic decision-making, not just jumping into any venture.
Right. They use this interesting analogy comparing a coal mining operation to a medical practice.
Okay, I'm curious, how do those two compare in terms of wealth building?
So a coal mining business might yield higher profits in some years,
Right.
but it's also a volatile industry.
Right, subject to all sorts of external factors.
Exactly. Things beyond your control.
So there's a higher level of risk involved.
There is. What about the medical practice?
Yeah, what about it?
It requires a significant upfront investment in education and training,
Years of schooling.
but it often offers greater stability, flexibility, and less susceptibility to market fluctuations.
So it's a different kind of investment.
It is.
One that pays off in the long run with more security.
Exactly. And the book points out that this is often why affluent parents encourage their children to pursue professional careers.
It makes sense. They're thinking about long-term security and those transferable skills.
Right, skills that can be applied in various settings.
It's fascinating how that parental guidance plays into the bigger picture of wealth-building strategies.
It's all connected, isn't it?
It really is. And it makes me think, are we in fields that align with our wealth-building goals?
That's a good question for all of us to ponder.
It is. It's something to consider for sure.
Now let's shift gears and talk about another key aspect of the Millionaire Next Door. The affluent mindset.
Yes. We touched on this earlier with Mr. Allen.
Right, Mr. Allen.
What other insights does the book offer about the mindset of millionaires?
Well, the book really emphasizes that millionaires are not driven by a need for status or extravagance.
So it's not about the fancy cars and designer clothes.
No, it's not. They're more focused on building wealth quietly and steadily.
Living below their means.
Exactly. And prioritizing financial security over flashy displays of wealth.
That's a stark contrast to the images we often see in the media.
It is. The media loves to portray millionaires as living these lavish lifestyles.
So what motivates these everyday millionaires?
They're motivated by a desire for financial independence, freedom of choice, and control over their lives.
So it's about being in the driver's seat.
Exactly. They want to be able to make decisions based on their own values without being constrained by financial limitations.
It's about having the means to pursue their passions and support their families without constantly worrying about money.
You got it. And they achieve this not by winning the lottery or inheriting a fortune,
Right.
but by making consistent, smart financial choices over time.
It's a reminder that building wealth is a marathon, not a sprint.
A marathon, absolutely. And this brings us to another important aspect of the affluent mindset, the willingness to delay gratification.
Okay, explain that one for me.
So millionaires, they understand the power of compound growth.
The snowball effect.
Exactly. They're willing to save and invest today, even if it means sacrificing some immediate pleasures.
So they're playing the long game.
They are. They're not driven by impulse purchases or the need to keep up with the Joneses.
They're making conscious decisions about their spending.
Right, aligning it with their values and their long-term financial goals.
That level of discipline is impressive.
It is. It takes commitment.
It really highlights the importance of having a clear vision for your future.
And making financial choices that support that vision.
It's about being intentional with your money and your life.
Exactly. They're not. They're more likely to be driving a reliable used car than a brand new luxury vehicle.
It's about practicality and value.
Exactly. They understand that a car is simply a tool to get you from point A to point B.
And it doesn't have to define your worth.
Now let's shift our focus to one of the most practical aspects of building wealth, the role of financial planning.
Okay, financial planning.
The millionaires in the Millionaire Next Door, they're not accidental savers.
So they're not just lucky.
No, they're not. They're very proactive about managing their money-setting goals and developing a plan to achieve them.
So it's not about luck or inheritance.
No, it's about taking control.
Taking control of your finances.
Yes, and making conscious choices about how you spend and invest your money.
They're not just hoping for the best.
No, they're actively shaping their financial futures.
And are they doing this all on their own?
Well, they're not afraid to seek out professional advice when needed.
Okay, so they're not afraid to ask for help.
Exactly. The book highlights the role of trusted advisors like financial planners and CPAs.
So they're building a team of experts.
Yes, they're leveraging the knowledge and experience of professionals to help them make informed decisions.
But it's not about just blindly following someone else's recommendations, right?
Right. It's about being an active participant in the process.
So they're asking questions.
Yes, they want to understand the rationale behind the advice.
Making sure it aligns with their own goals and values.
Exactly. And that brings us to one of the key messages of The Millionaire Next Door.
What's that?
Financial planning isn't just for the wealthy.
It's for everyone.
Yes, it's a crucial step for anyone who wants to achieve financial security, freedom, and peace of mind.
It's about taking control of your money, setting clear goals, and developing a roadmap to get there.
And it's never too early or too late to start.
That's encouraging.
It is. The sooner you begin, the more time you have to benefit from the power of compound growth.
So those small steps, taken consistently over time.
They can really add up.
Okay, now, The Millionaire Next Door also offers some valuable insights into the world of investing,
Yes, investing.
which can seem daunting to many people.
It can be. There's so much information out there.
It's overwhelming.
What guidance does the book provide for those who are new to investing or feeling a bit lost? Well, one of the key takeaways is that millionaires are not typically day traders.
So they're not trying to time the market.
No, they're not. They're much more patient and disciplined in their approach.
They're in it for the long haul.
They are. They understand that investing is a long-term game.
And that trying to time the market is often a recipe for disaster.
Exactly. They're more focused on the big picture and less concerned with those short-term fluctuations.
So they're not panicking when the market takes a dip.
No, they're riding it out. They're willing to weather those ups and downs, knowing that over time, their investments are likely to grow.
It's about having a long-term perspective.
And trusting in the power of compound growth.
Now, what about diversification?
Diversification is key.
Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Exactly. Millionaires understand that spreading your investments across different asset classes is essential for managing risk.
It's about balancing things out.
Right. And they're also very strategic in their investment choices.
So they're not just throwing money at random stocks.
No, they do their research.
They seek out expert advice.
Yes, and they carefully consider their risk tolerance before making any decisions.
It's about being informed and proactive.
Absolutely. Not just blindly following the crowd or chasing the latest investment fad.
Now let's turn our attention to one of the most important and often overlooked aspects of building wealth, the role of mindset.
The mindset is everything.
It really is. It's not just about the numbers. It's about the beliefs, attitudes, and habits that shape our financial decisions.
So true. And The Millionaire Next Door, it really digs into this,
It does.
revealing some surprising truths about what drives financial success.
Okay, I'm ready to be surprised. What are some of the key insights?
One of the recurring themes is the importance of self-reliance and independence.
So these millionaires, they're not looking for handouts.
No, they're not. They've built their wealth through hard work, discipline, and a belief in their own ability to succeed.
They're go-getters.
Yes, very much so. They value self-sufficiency, and they take pride in their accomplishments.
It's a mindset of empowerment.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Taking ownership of your financial future and not waiting for someone else to rescue you.
And does this mindset extend to their parenting style as well?
It often does. Yes, they want their children to develop that same sense of independence and responsibility.
So they're not spoiling their kids or shielding them from the realities of life.
No, they're not. They believe that facing challenges and overcoming obstacles actually builds character and resilience.
It's about preparing them for the real world.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, another crucial element of the millionaire mindset
Yeah.
is a focus on financial literacy.
So they're not just winging it?
No, they're not. These individuals, they're proactive about managing their money.
They're educating themselves about investing.
Yes, and they're not afraid to seek out expert advice when needed.
It's about being a lifelong learner.
It is when it comes to your finances.
It's so true.
Yeah.
And that brings us to another key aspect of the millionaire mindset, their relationship with money.
How they view money.
Exactly. They don't see it as the be-all and end-all, right?
It's not about greed or the pursuit of wealth for wealth's sake.
So what is it about then?
They see money as a tool,
Okay, a tool.
a resource that can be used to achieve their goals and create a life of meaning and purpose.
So it's a means to an end.
Exactly. It's about aligning your financial decisions with your values.
And using your resources to make a positive impact on the world.
Now let's shift gears and talk about frugality.
Frugality.
Yes, it's a word that often gets a bad rap.
It can be seen as negative.
It can. But The Millionaire Next Door offers a really fresh perspective on this,
It does.
highlighting its role as a key ingredient in wealth accumulation.
So you're saying it's not about being cheap.
No, it's not. It's about being mindful.
Mindful of your spending.
Yes. Making conscious choices and aligning your expenses with your values and your long-term goals.
Being intentional with your money.
Exactly. And the millionaires in this book, they're masters of this.
They are.
They're often quite frugal.
But they're not doing it out of deprivation.
No,
Yeah.
they're not. They're doing it because they understand that every dollar they save is the dollar they can invest.
And grow.
Exactly. So it's a strategic decision, not a form of self-punishment.
Okay, now let's talk about giving back.
Yes, giving back.
The millionaires in The Millionaire Next Door, they're not just focused on accumulating wealth for themselves.
No,
Oh.
they're not. They're committed to making a positive impact.
So they're philanthropists.
Many of them are. They understand that true wealth encompasses more than just financial assets.
It's about giving back.
Yes, it's about leaving a legacy of generosity and making the world a better place.
And they do this in so many different ways.
They do. Through philanthropy, volunteering, supporting causes they care about.
So it's about using your resources to make a difference.
Absolutely.
All right.
Now, as we wrap up this deep dive into The Millionaire Next Door,
Ready.
it's gone by fast.
It has.
It's important to remember that this book, it's not just about becoming a millionaire.
It's about the journey.
It is. It's about adopting a mindset and a set of habits that can lead to financial success and fulfillment.
Regardless of your income.
Exactly.
So it's about taking control of your finances, making informed choices.
Living a life that aligns with your values.
And it's about recognizing that financial success is within reach
It is.
for anyone who is willing to put in the effort.
And make it a priority.
So this deep dive has hopefully given you a glimpse.
Into the world of The Millionaire Next Door.
It's a fascinating world.
It is.
Yeah.
Now it's up to you to take these insights.
And apply them to your own life.
Remember, it's not about trying to become someone else.
It's about defining your own version of success.
Creating a financial future that supports your dreams.
And if you're looking for further guidance and inspiration,
Pick up a copy of the book.
The Millionaire Next Door.
It can truly change your perspective
On wealth.
and empower you to take control.
Of your financial destiny.
Absolutely. So there you have it.
Our deep dive into the secrets.
Of The Millionaire Next Door.
We hope you found it insightful.
And empowering.
Remember, building wealth is not about luck.
Or inheritance.
It's about making conscious choices
Developing good habits.
and adopting a mindset that prioritizes financial security.
And freedom.
It's a journey that anyone can embark on.
And the rewards are well worth the effort.
So go out there and start building your own path to financial success.
We're cheering you on every step of the way.